Hey everybody, Roar of the Lions UK, Matt and Ash. We are here preparing for our show about the top 50 Lions players of all time, as well as going through news and what have you. Sorry we weren't here on the main show last week, my bad. Wasn't feeling the best. And also I spent all night last night with someone who was protesting that he didn't have COVID. So let's see how the next week goes. But anyway, boys, one day on from the end of the Euros, how are you doing?
I mean, people can probably guess from what my name is this week on here. So close yet so far at the same time. I was on FaceTime for my family for that second half, and as soon as they started breaking for that second goal, I could see it happening. I could see it happening. God damn it.
How are you doing, and do you have to translate what you're going to say first?
We're not on the main pod yet. I'm going to do it for the main pod only.
Oh God.
I'm not going to be able to
Right.
translate what you say back into English.
And you'll understand some of it.
I hope so.
I can't do a full. I mean, God, I can't learn it in a day. I've spent enough time doing what I need to do, but yeah.
Kurt makes a great point about probably what's going to be one of the sticking points in this show. And actually, the only thing, Kurt, I will say is I don't think either of them are the Lions' all-time quarterback. But in terms of, this is food for thought for later when we start talking about it, is who's going to be higher out of Goff and Stafford when we get down there? Because that's just a debate.
Oh, I put that in my head. I thought it was going to be like, oh yeah, like we won't be able to know somebody all time like old players, and I was going to be like, I'm going to bat for a couple of the ones from the 50s.
But you have to, well, there's no choice about who the quarterback is, I don't think.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We will see. As always, guys, if you've got any questions, just let us know. We'll get it in the planner and then we'll ask the question of the guys at some point. Or if it's pertinent to the discussion, we'll get it in straight away. Because this is our top 50, and the way we're going to do it is we're going to kind of go around the room nominating guys that we think should be up there. And we've got lots of reference points to do that. But we're obviously going to be taking suggestions from you guys as well. So if you've got suggestions, then please go through it. I think what I'm going to do is, just to get the ball rolling, I might ask position by position in the position groups that we have, just so we have one in each slot first.
Yeah.
And then we can just have a kind of open season on things. But there's going to be a few clearly defined guys that we want in those groups. Or maybe we can go whole position group by whole position group and then see how many people we're left with and then eliminate from there.
That could work, yeah.
Just say a position group and we'll say names.
Yeah?
And then
All right.
do it that way. We'll just nominate names and put them on there, and then we can sort the positions out after.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. I'm going to go all the way down to 100 players then, and then we'll have to delete them down to 50, I guess. Hopefully we don't get down to 100, but we'll see. Okay, little bit of news to go through, and then I will put the spreadsheet on the screen so you guys can see it. I haven't actually tried to sort it out yet, but I'm sure it won't take me too much. Uh-oh, Carlton's already talking in Spanish to you, Ant. You're in trouble.
Oh no.
I am a man of my word.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I've been putting together all my phrases and stuff I'm going to use, and I don't want to use them all on the pre-show. So, allow me that at least, people. Yeah, today was meant to be me prepping the end of my show for tomorrow, and instead I've had to do both. It's very hard learning about prospects in the Sun Belt and trying to learn Spanish at the same time. You have no idea how unbelievably difficult that is.
Oh, you brought it on yourself.
For the brand, life's too boring otherwise.
For the brand.
For the brand. To borrow McAfee's slogan on McAfee's. For the brand.
I'm going to you too busy learning about the Cinturón Salah to
Too busy just like learning about all sorts. So, I've got enough. And then if I do have to resort to the translator during the night, you can ask me questions last so I can prepare my responses adequately.
Is that right? NCAA launches in an hour and a half.
Yeah, 9:30.
Nice.
4 o'clock, in it? So
4 ET, yeah. I can't own the bloody thing because they haven't released it on PC.
I know. I've been loving the, like the announcement videos people have been doing where they've been selecting which team they're going to be like rebuilding first.
I would just, but this is the type of person that I am. Love me or hate me, I just go for Vanderbilt. Fuck it. Why not? Just be the worst team in the SEC. Fuck it. Take Vanderbilt to a championship. You'd be a fucking legend.
That's not Florida.
Exactly. Exactly. I've seen at least 3 tweets a day from Florida fans saying they should fire Napier and hire the women's flag football coach.
What?
Vanderbilt won 2 games in the SEC last year. They ain't the pushovers they used to be. They beat Kentucky. Pretty sure they beat Florida, if I remember rightly. They had 2 wins last year.
Oh, who's even worse then? Illinois were bad last year. But worst Power 4 team?
Minnesota.
Really? The Golden Gophers are that bad?
Yes.
Miami?
Yes.
Cal?
No. Cal's offense scored 40 points in more than 7 games.
Okay.
They were electric.
Best running back duo in the great running back duo.
Who's the worst team in the Pac-12 last year?
Colorado.
Yeah. And yet they've got the highest rated receiver and highest rated QB in the game.
He's the same player. No.
No. But
That
close.
was funny.
No.
Travis Hunter was online trashing their O-line yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. It's funny shit.
The great thing was that as a quarterback, he held onto it in a clean pocket and then tried to run with the ball and got sacked for a tackle for loss, and then he blamed it on the O-line. Like, mate, that was on you. That wasn't a quarterback problem.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you refuse to come to the proper program. That's
Right.
on my birthday of all days as well.
Right, so it looks like we're going to lose our audience in an hour and 20 minutes, so shall we get on with this?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Recording in progress.
Welcome to another edition of the Roar of the Lions UK podcast, episode 278 even, if I don't lose count. Inducting Megatron. My name's Matthew Turner alongside Ashley Soden and... what am I calling you today? Antmanio Banderas.
See.
Oh, this is the episode. We are going through the top 50 Lions players of all time, as well as going through the news in the last 7 days. If you can't tell, Ant is a fool and made a stupid bet on Twitter where he committed to speaking Spanish if England lost against Spain. And boys, just to reflect on that for 2 seconds, the 3 Lions fell at the final hurdle, and as Taib in our Discord channel was saying, he'd happily sacrifice the 3 Lions for Lions success. So maybe on the altar of the Euros, breeds Lions success this season.
Yeah, I'm just glad that I can actually watch some proper football in a couple of days' time. And who would have said that a game involving bloody Warsaw? I've been saying it for a while, and people that are watching the video of this can see that my feelings on this. Southgate needs to go. I don't care. He's got us loads of fun. We've been so lucky with the draws, and with all the talent that we have, making it so we have less XG overall in the tournament, a team that went out in the actual group stages, creating less XG a game than Luton Town did in the Premier League last year. For context, because Luton Town are a team that have their away end, you have to go through an alley between people's houses to get to. We might have got to the final. We did not deserve to be there. It's like, I don't know, it's like the Giants making the playoffs last year, playing shit football, but just somehow squeaking through.
Last year?
The year before. back when Dable won Coach of the Year. It's like Stefanski winning Coach of the Year.
Yeah. Mr. Banderas, how are you feeling?
Estoy cansado. Y he estado aprendiendo español porque Inglaterra no puede jugar bien al fútbol.
See. Okay, moving swiftly.
I did Latin, not Spanish.
Oh man. We're gonna go through the news in the last 7 days. But just before we do, please don't forget to join our Discord channel. Great place to be. Link in the live chat right now. Quite a few of the people in the live chat at the moment are also members of the channel. If you're not in there and you're enjoying talking to the people that you do, please come and see us there. College Football Podcast is going to be airing tomorrow. Ant, what are you talking about?
On el podcast de fútbol universitario veremos una vista previa del Sun Belt East. Diversión al sol. El mate por la tarde.
That's the Sunbelt East, you guys. Sunbelt East. Please come and listen to it. Please don't forget to like the episode, sub to the podcast, all of that good stuff. It'd be great to keep seeing some familiar faces. And don't forget to support Lions Nation Unite, Herman Moore's project, bringing the best in Lions content creators together. Let's kick off the news. And it's some fluffy stuff, but always good to see. The run of Lions players getting married continues as Penny Sewell marries his fiancée over the weekend. We were looking a couple of weeks ago, boys, at, I think it was 4, but now I think, or 3, but now we're up to 4 or 5. I can't think how many it is, but certainly Lions players have gotten busy getting wed.
Really, bastards are trying to get 2 rings in 1 year. How dare they?
Felicitaciones, Penny Sewell, que tenga muchos años de feliz.
It didn't sound like the end of a sentence, but I don't know what to say.
Que tengan muchos años de felicidad juntos mientras gobiernan la NFC North. I lost my part of the page.
Also, in other exciting news, Taylor Decker has announced he's expecting his second child, which is a son to be born in January. Ash has added a footnote to that, saying during the first round bye, we're getting next year's playoffs. Winky smiley face, of course. That could just mean that he's missing for the bye that we don't receive. So, fun times for Taylor Decker, but congratulations to him and his family. And Calvin Johnson, it was announced today, Megatron himself is finally going to be inducted into the Pride of the Lions. The induction will happen this season during Week 4's Monday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks. Here's hoping, boys, that we can do better than the last time we honoured a player against the Seahawks, because as we were reminded, I think, in our Discord chat by Adostil, that we put up the statue of Barry and we ended up losing that game. But there we go. Well deserved. Although I think it's quite strange, because normally you get inducted to the team's Ring of Honor before you go in the Hall of Fame, but somehow we've managed to do it the wrong way round.
That's what happens when you unceremoniously cut ties with the players and cause issues for many years. All I can say is, and yet again, it's me talking about a member of the front office, thank God for Mike Disner, because if in the next year he goes and gets an upgrade somewhere in another team's front office, that's one of the things he can really put down his resume, that for us at least, he repaired the situation between us and Calvin to the point where we can do this now, because who would have thought this was possible 5 years ago or so?
Hace mucho que se tipió en Megatron, uno de los mejores de todos los tiempos. Ojalá podamos fonso a Seattle para celebrar la ocasión. Por Taylor, la franquicia de bebé continúa. Los jugadores de la León son muy activos durante la temporada vaya.
I endorse what Ant has said there. Right, let's move on to our main segment, because that's the end of the news. Main segment is in this time where we are, I think, a couple of weeks out from training camp now, something like that, 2.5, 3 weeks away. In the depth of the off season, it's time to do another fluffy piece. So we're going to be doing the top 50 Lions players of all time. I do need to reorganize my screen to make this work, but we'll get there in just a second. But Mr. Banderas wants to say something.
It's los 50 mejores Detroit Lions de todos los tiempos. Top 50.
What did I say?
You said it in English. I mean...
Hey!
You did so well. You did very well. Are you using ChatGPT to type out what you want to say in Spanish and then reading it out or something? Because how are you coming up with it that quickly?
Right, I'm out my Spanish face just for a moment. I've been writing these down all day. So I have a little list of things here which I'm doing off. And I've got one just for you, Matt.
Oh no.
Oh no.
¿Sabías que el término español para long snapper es pago largo?
Something about ending no, I don't know. Something about
Long snapper in Spanish is pago largo.
Pago largo.
Ooh, I like that.
Cool. That's all right. Lisa's complaining that you're speaking Spanish. Don't like the content. Yes, you need to speak English now. I know you lost a bet, but actually, to be fair, I think that Lions podcasts generally do quite well in California. So there might be some Spanish speakers over there. I'm not sure.
I'll get a lot of complaints off regular Spanish speakers.
Yeah, maybe. Right. Let me sort myself out here and get the spreadsheet viewable for the folks so that we can go through this. So, going to make ourselves a bit smaller. Half screen should do it, I guess. Move that down like that. Okay. Not far enough. This is excellent content if you guys want to fill for just a second. Anything?
I see. I was going to be nice. I was not going to bring up the other football result from yesterday for Ant.
Argentina beating Colombia.
No, look at the shirt he's wearing.
Oh, did they play?
Yeah, first preseason friendly of the year, I believe, against a certain red club.
Lo bueno es que puedo decir tonterías sobre el Florida State y salirme con la mía. I got that one just for you.
Yes, I was waiting to see if it's like you know the Toy Story, the little string you put on Woody has the stock phrases.
Mm-hmm.
Esta es mi penitencia.
What have we
Sorry,
done?
I have to be a man of my word. I said I would speak Spanish on the pod if we lost, and I am doing so.
What have we done?
To be fair, actually, it wasn't even your neck of the woods. On Saturday, I was in Roy's neck of the woods. I was up Bradford way, seeing where all the money in Bradford went on that nice posh private school.
Right. Let's get into this, shall we? So, we're doing the top 50 Lions players of all time. The way this is going to work is we're going to go position by position in the group shown, but for the people listening on audio, that is quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, defensive backs, and special teams. If anyone feels that I should be splitting any of those up more, as in DTs and edges or cornerbacks and safeties, then let me know. But otherwise, I'm just going to stick them in their own combined groups. Cool. All right. So we'll start with quarterbacks. What names should we be considering? We can give too many, and then we can cut some as we get down to it. So, what do you think? Quarterbacks.
Well, obviously, Goff, Stafford.
Dan Orlovsky.
No, come on.
Be serious.
Bobby Lane and Dutch Clark. The Flying Dutchman's got to be in that MIO.
Any more thoughts there, Ant?
I don't
Maybe Frank Christensen as well.
know. I feel like. Hang on. Don't worry, I'm not doing more Spanish. Um, would I feel like I don't know, depending on how many we get, I feel like Joey Harrington is a little bit like a lot of people like Joey. I don't know if he will get into a 50, he might get into 100, but maybe as like a guest guy if we're running out of room.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, we've got 5 quarterbacks up in there. I haven't seen any suggestions yet from the live chat. Lisa said Orlovsky was a terrible quarterback. Oh, we know. Don't worry about that. Don't think we don't know. Let's fly over to the running backs. So, what do you think, guys?
Well, you know the obvious two.
Spell it out.
Barry Sims. So Barry
You mean-
Sanders, Billy Sims. I was
Ant?
Nick Pietrasante.
Yeah. What was his first name?
Nick
Oh, it was.
Melfar.
Running back's a really tough one for us because we haven't had a lot of good ones. We've had a few like really good ones and then not.
I mean, even if like Javid Best had been healthy for like 3 seasons, like he'd probably be on this list. But
Yeah.
like in terms of guys who were outright explosive and game changing, he was it, but he wasn't around long. I guess it's longevity that comes into this as well.
So
Yeah.
there's a player who contributed more AV at running back than Billy Sims, which is Alty Taylor. Played for 6 years between 69 and 75.
Fair. Obviously Doak as well, Doak Walker.
Yes, of course. Although he was a no, what other position did he play?
Some of these were duels, like for example, Christensen and Clark have got on there. They're also quite high up on the rushing because of the time.
So Alty Taylor was a fullback running back by the look of it.
Doak was running back and corner, but there's going to be some guys in a bit, especially when it comes to defensive backs. So I'm kind of going to mention there's quite a few in those early days where they did dual things.
Had a few suggestions in here. Lisa said Charlie Batch was better than both Dan and Joey Harrington. Grandizer said Eric Kramer, he had a good year. Scott Mitchell as a suggestion for quarterback.
I can say, yeah. Say Kramer, when I hear Kramer, I think more Vikings than Lions.
He wasn't here that long.
Yeah. But Scott Mitchell was here legitimately a long time.
Yeah. Mitchell, yeah.
I'll put him in just so we can consider it. Grandizer says fullback's next up. Fullback has got to be in the running back area when we're condensing the position group, so he's going to be in there too. We've got Vegas Lions fan in the Twitch chat. First time chatter says, besides Barry and the ones off the top of my head, Mel Gray, Lomas Brown, Chris Billman, Billy Sims, Doug English, Herman Moore, Brett Perryman, Al Baker, Joe Schmidt, Keith Dorney, Megatron, Jason Hansen, Dope Walker, Charlie Sanders, Len Barney, Night Train Lane, Robert Porcher, Dutch Clark, Mike Lucci, Bobby Lane, Matt Stafford, and hello, Matt and Ash. Great meeting you at the NFL draft. Great meeting you as well, my man. All right, so presuming that there's no fullbacks in here worth considering that are.
Yeah, we've already said the one which is Pedro Asante, but
yeah, actually, Grandizer just said Schlesinger.
Corey Schlesinger, yeah.
It's a shout, possibly.
It's a shout.
I do feel like there's going to be some recency bias in this, a little bit. Just because we're going to favour the players we've seen, I suspect. But we'll see. That's 6 quarterbacks and 6 running backs so far, so that's not too bad. Running back, fullbacks. We move on to wide receivers.
Oh, God.
And kick us off.
I mean, we're an LSU, we're an LNU affiliate, so Herman's going in there for damn
Yeah.
sure. Herman might get in as like we should vote most underrated line at the end. Like he would be in that conversation.
He absolutely would.
Sure, yeah.
He gets Mike Evans' level of disrespect. Herm does.
Yeah.
Who else apart from those two? Then Calvin Johnson, Herman Moore.
Johnny Morton,
Yeah.
similar era, and then should we complete the trio and put Brett Perriman in there as well? I mean,
You've got to put Brett. You've got to put Brett in there.
Brett in. He's four. So that's that's the top four of our receiving career leaders.
You've got to put Tate in this conversation.
Yeah, I wanted to put Tate in here as well.
Tate has been here long enough, and he is like still absolutely adored by the fan base. Like,
okay,
Tate's got to be in there for consideration, at least a strong consideration.
I think we're going to be able to put quite a lot of receivers in here if that's the bar, because Golden Tate or Marvin Jones, because
I mean, at the end of the day, like I think some of the current team will get in here because they are good enough. It doesn't need to be longevity all the time, so it is just a case of course, Amon-Ra's going in.
Amon-Ra's got to be in there then.
He's there already. Like there are several members of this team I think who already get in there. So, you know, you've got to have them in.
Lisa's just said Nate Burleson, and
I was about to say Nate Burleson. Yeah,
I would be contentious and not consider him for the long list. Personally, he had a good career with the Lions, but I wouldn't have said it was up to the standard of Marvin Jones. I don't know. He's had a much better career for me as a pundit.
It's fair.
It's tough. What other suggestions have we had? I think we've covered everyone apart from. I don't know whether.
Technically, Roy Williams should maybe get a shout in at this as well.
We've had another suggestion.
I know there's a little bit of back and forth with Roy, but like if we're just doing conversation, guys, we're putting the conversation to the end. Then like he should be involved in this.
Yeah, that's fair. We've had a shout for Chuck Hughes as well. Just trying to see if we've missed out any like really obvious people so far.
Terry Barr, 57 to 65. He's 11th on our all-time receiving list.
Fun fact, Grandizer, Willie Green was born the last year England won a major championship in 1966. So how old you're going back there?
All right, I think we're good. We've got 8 names at wide receiver at the moment.
You know what? Just I'm putting my. I say we all get one that everyone else will disagree with, but we can put them in there just for now for consideration. Put Kenny in, please, for receivers. In terms of rookie years and how he did while he was here,
he was fantastic.
I would like Kenny involved in this conversation.
He was absolutely fantastic.
Whatever he's done not in Detroit, screw what they've done elsewhere, what he did in Detroit and his body of work here, Kenny should be in. The conversation.
Let me just see. And so I don't want to annoy too many people with these choices as well. So let's have a look.
I mean, we're not putting them in yet. We are creating a candidate list to put in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These are not final picks. This is just candidate list we're putting together.
Wow. Amon-Ra St. Brown is 13th all-time in yards.
Yeah.
Receiving yards. That's nuts.
He'll beat Calvin's record if he's healthy his career. Like, he will obliterate what Calvin did here.
Yeah, he will.
Like, I mean, what's he got? He's got to get to what? 11,000?
11,619.
He's at like 4 through 3 years.
3,588 he's got at the moment.
Yeah.
So he needs to play, basically, at the rate he's at, he needs to play for 10, maybe 11 seasons if he's fully healthy through that time.
So that's crazy. I mean, giving Calvin's not long NFL career, that Amon-Ra, even at his pace, has to go another 10 years to reach him.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Kenny Golladay is 16th all-time in yards for the Lions. In receiving yards.
And we only had him, what, 3 years, 4 years? Wasn't much.
4 seasons,
17,
yeah.
17,
He
18,
was
19,
injured
20.
one of them. He was injured practically for one of them, so.
That's pretty nuts, to be honest. I was trying to see where Nate Burleson was, but I can't see him.
Nate is down in 35th.
35th.
I don't think Nate was here that long, though.
4 seasons as well, and he had 2,000 yards.
Yeah, so if Nate's in the conversation, Kenny certainly as hell should be.
Well, Nate's not in the conversation.
Oh, is he not? Okay.
No. I pulled rank here, and well, it is a democracy, but with suggestions. Right. Tight ends. Now, this is potentially going to be a short list.
You've got to
Short,
put
long
Pettigrew
list.
in. Got to put Brandon in. Like that would be the first. And like you have to probably go back. Like we're going to be putting blocking tight ends in here. We're going to be putting guys who've not got on stat sheets here. So
I mean, you're saying that, but you're not. But our number 6 all time in receiving yards is a tight end, Charlie Sanders. 68 to 77.
Yeah.
And then
That
17th
is...
as well, David Hill, who played from 76 to 82, is 17th.
David Hill, did he say?
David Hill, yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to ask Brent about those.
Both of whom are above Pettigrew, who is literally just below David Hill by...
Lisa just wanted to suggest for running back, what about Reggie Bush? My overriding feeling with Reggie Bush was one of disappointment, and I don't really know whether that was...
better. He was better elsewhere, in my opinion.
He had one good season, right?
Yeah.
He's in like carry-on territory, isn't he? And that is like the potential was really clearly there, and they had a good year, but no longevity.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like Reggie Bush had a better career than Carry On did for the Lions, but it's not saying much.
No.
Okay.
Jim Gibbons maybe as well. He's up there for receiver. 58 to 66, 3,561 yards.
I hesitate to say this, but we are just going to struggle for names at tight ends. Do we have to consider Eric Ebron?
No.
Oh.
No.
Just wanted to make sure.
If we mention Ebron, then sure we have to mention Laporta then, because I know he's only had one season, but it's one of the best rookie tight end seasons in history.
I mean, Hock could go in over Ebron, so like we're gonna have to put it out further. Hock was better than Ebron.
All right, I'll put in Hawkinson because he's had a career. Like my problem with Laporta is like putting a rookie into an all franchise team or an all top 50 team is going to be a lot, isn't it?
No, in some areas the bar's not that high. So like
one of the best.
Right, I'll put Sam Laporta in then just to put him on the long list.
It's a longer, especially since it's a long list. Exactly, he's probably not going to make it.
We're talking tight ends here. Like we've got a head coach who was a tight end for us.
Yeah, but he.
True.
No.
This is yeah. We could pay lip service to Dan here.
If he was really.
Hey, you name me a grittier tight end than Dan Campbell?
True.
No.
We're gonna get the grit. The grit scale will get him in here.
Oh, he's getting deleted very quickly after we get down to knocking it down to 50, but he's in for the moment. All right, we've got 7 tight ends somehow. We also had suggested. We also had suggested another running back, Stewart. James Stewart.
Maybe.
I think the bar is quite high for the running backs.
Because of who we had. So Stewart is not 10th all time in 2 seasons, Rona 3, 2,890 yards, 15 touchdowns.
I think he's probably not getting in. Does he deserve to go in the long list? Okay, that says a lot. Let's move on to offensive line.
Well, of course, Bacchus and Raiola have got to get in there.
Lomas.
Lomas. Penne.
Yeah.
Frank.
Yeah.
You guys are going too quickly for me to type. It's Raiola is Dom, isn't it?
Dominic Raiola. Jeff Bacchus.
Why can't I spell
Lomas.
Raiola?
Raiola.
Thank you.
Kevin Glover.
Grandizer keeps saying David Sloan for tight end. And I'll just beg your forgiveness and say I have no idea. Who else for offensive line, sorry?
Bacchus.
Kevin Glover.
Got Bacchus in. Kevin
Penne.
Glover. Penne's in.
Frank. In.
Frank's in.
Glover. Kevin Glover.
Glover's in.
Good. Oh God. I think didn't he say that?
I think Taylor Decker's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Who else can we consider here?
TJ Lang was a Packer, so no. But he was good, yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at the list of AV. Ed Flanagan is one of the highest on the offensive line.
It's a centre, 65 to 74.
Rocky Freitas, 68 to 77.
I mean, who blocked for Barry? There's got to be some guys on that Barry line that
Glover
get in
was
there.
because he was the one that meant that basically it was him getting signed elsewhere was one of the last straws, wasn't it, for him?
Danny Glover.
Yeah,
No. Love it.
Keith Dorney.
Keith Dorney, yeah. Bob Kowalski.
Yeah.
Do you think both of those go in?
John Gordy.
That's going right back to the 60s, I think that is, isn't it?
Yeah, 57 to 67 Gordy was.
Okay, so I haven't actually put any names in it for a little minute, so tell me who you want to go in.
John Gordy, wasn't it? It's like the old guard shout.
Is Gordy Gordy?
Yeah.
Right. Who else? So I've got Lomas, Penne, Frank, Dominic, Jeff, Kevin, Taylor, and John Gordy. Who else did I just miss?
I think that's fine for now.
Yeah.
But offensive line obviously has 5 starters. We've only got 8 when quarterback has only 1 starter and we've got 6. You know, I just feel like we could maybe have some more.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, we've been notorious for our luck with bad O-line. Like, really.
Until recently, yeah.
That's why, you know, Bacchus and Raiola and guys like that, they're still so well known because they were very much exceptions to the rule that we were bad for the most part. Like, you have to go back to the Barry era where they were blocking. And to be fair, like, you know, Barry could run behind a Bears O-line. He's that good. So
right,
even then, you have to question it.
Yeah, that's fair. It's been pointed out to me, and actually it's why I had the Hall of Fame members up, that Lou Creekmer was in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, so I think he kind of has to go in.
Yeah.
I'm just going to double check that we haven't missed any other Hall of Fame players from the positions that we've already looked at. Charlie Sanders, Doak Walker, Alex Kujawski. Wojciechowski, I can't say his bloody name. 38 to 46 centre linebacker is in the Hall of Fame. I don't really know which one he played more. or whether he was actually definitely a two-way player. Oh wow, he was a 60-minute player for 9 seasons.
No, well, in that case, you've got to
He's
go
gotta
in
go
there.
in.
Yo, he's got to go in then.
That's crazy. But if he's a two-way player, what position do I put him in my sheet?
Put him in there. It doesn't
See,
really
that's
matter.
the thing.
Just put him in there.
So it's spoilers for later, but there's going to be a defensive back who was also a punter that I'm going to be advocating for, and he played both really well. Have fun in the comments naming who that is. It will take you like 2 seconds.
Brian Shook just said, I got Alex Wojo's rookie card in the mail last week. That's going to be an amazing card to have. Right, we got 10 offensive linemen, which means we've got double the number of starting spots, which I think is good. Right, we flip over to the defense. We've got 38 offensive players so far. So, I think that's pretty good. Defensive line. This might be slim pickings as well, potentially.
Karras.
What are we doing, edge or interior?
Both.
What does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Karras, poor chair.
Ziggy.
Yeah. Doug English.
Is it too early for Aiden for consideration?
We're putting Sue in there as well.
Yep.
Sue, yeah. By putting Sue.
Sue's got to be there. I mean, if we are going short with DTs, then, Nick Fairley we can put in there. Like, he does deserve to be in the... I know it's controversial, but he does deserve to be in the conversation. Fairley and Sue were one of the best TT combos we've ever had when they were playing well.
Al Baker and Roger Brown.
Could we put Cliff Averill in?
Yeah.
I haven't yet, but I will now. He was so good. Broke my heart when he left.
In that case, should we just fill in the rest of the top 10 of our sack leaders then?
Hang on a minute.
It's all right.
Grandize is making a statement saying if you make a Pro Bowl as a Lion, you should go in.
That's for David Sloan. He was the first Lions tight end to make one since Hill did.
Dolphins should only let in players who've won a playoff game.
Lost Oceans have just said Kyle Vanden Bosch, but I kind of feel like that's a no for a Lions career.
Yeah.
They've got to have done something here for the Lions as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd be putting scrubs like Jamie Collins and that in here, which of course we're never going to do, ever.
No, not.
It's D-line. We've got to put Wick Nilliams in there.
No, why did you've summoned him?
The ghost of Wick Nilliams. Excuse me.
So apparently, we had a player called Willie Gay.
William Gay, number 8 in our sack list. Him. That's what I'm saying, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. With Gay, 8, 9, 10, and 11 of all our top career sack leaders on the list currently. That's why I was like, should we just fill in the rest of the top 10 then?
All right, I'm going to put William Gay in.
Yes.
Just
for the name.
Well, not just for the name, because he was a bloody good player. So someone in the chat's just said, by someone I mean Vegas Lions fan, William Gay was a stud.
Yeah.
So, Pat Man has just said Jerry Ball, ?
Number 34. Yeah, fair 8.5 sacks from a nose tackle in 6 seasons ain't too bad.
Okay, we've got lots of defensive linemen now. Lots and lots. We're up to 49 players already, so we're not struggling.
That's fine.
Linebackers, inside or out?
Chris.
Joe Schmidt. You can say him. He's number 5 on our all-time tackle list. You can say your favourite guy.
Don't know who you mean. Oh, we got to put in Wayne Walker, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3 in AV, which is pretty outstanding, really.
That is mad.
We used to have some really good old linebacker. I bet there's some old ones who've been. Mike Lucci was quite old, wasn't he? Like he was 60s.
Right, Levy's going in.
Yes.
Stephen Tulloch.
Oh, you're bowing to pressure from Ryan there.
I love Stephen Tulloch. Him and Levy were my
Levy.
favourites, as Ash has alluded to. Okay, looking at AV, we've also got a player who mainly played in the late 60s and early to mid 70s, Paul Naumoff. And then so he had more AV than Spielman did. And then you got Mike Lucci.
Yeah, Mike Lucci.
That's a name that I recognise.
I'm assuming Joe Schmidt's in there. Did we put
Joe Schmidt was the second player, yeah.
Yeah. Have to put him in. Looking at Naumoff now. Did it give me no tackles? I mean, he made Pro Bowl in 1970. Played all his career here. So 168 games, 6 interceptions, 20.5 sacks. Damn.
So we got to put any of the noughties guys in here, like Ernie Sims or Boss Bailey. Like, shorter terms here, but very much still liked.
But was Ernie Sims...
He was considered a bust.
Yeah.
I don't...
Because of...
I know he's picked high, but still, again, we're talking about linebackers of all time here. Still one of the... Like, Boss Bailey was really good.
So, Charlie Weaver, I think, is probably up there. Maybe. Lost Oceans have just said Tyre Whitehead. No.
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 I mean, obviously the one we can't really because he didn't get the time here, but Kyle Van Noy. I feel like he was good here. And obviously he's won a whole bunch of Super Bowls, but I don't know whether we can put him in.
He was definitely much better elsewhere, but does it mean we can't?
I thought he was really good here.
I thought the whole thing with Van Noy
it
was that we didn't know how to use him. Or am I thinking of someone else?
No, that was Van Noy. Because then he went to the Patriots and they used him right.
What they do with our linebackers.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it there for linebackers.
Fair.
All right. So next up is DBs.
Lem Barney.
Yeah, Lem. Night Train Lane.
Glover.
Yeah, Larry. That's the guy I was mentioning.
Benny Blades.
Benny Blades.
You're going to go too quickly for me here.
Darius has got to go in as well.
Who has?
Slay. Tell me when.
I haven't actually caught. I've forgotten some of the names you've already said because you're just throwing them all at me and I can't type that fast. Dick LeBeau?
Yeah.
Who else did you say from the start?
Night Train Lane.
Night Train Lane's in. Sorry, Ash, you went then for a second.
So, Yale Larry.
How do I spell that?
Y.
Oh, there we go. I see it. Sorry.
Yeah. And then Jack Christiansen.
You put Benny in there, didn't you?
Benny's in there. Grandizer, we're doing DBs. Safeties count.
Jack Christiansen. Hall of Famer first made the 50s team.
I'm gonna guess it's spelled as in the Danish.
Yeah, as in like Christian, the name, Sen at the end.
It's too early for Jack Campbell. Sorry, on the linebackers anyway. Jack Christiansen.
Yeah,
I'll put
Christiansen.
Christiansen. We'll correct that now. Sorry, Grandizer, if I said cornerbacks, that's my bad. Glover Quinn.
We already put him in, didn't we?
GQ's got on there, yeah.
We did not put him in. He is in now.
Oh, it's the first name I said.
But you went too quick. I can't type that fast.
William White.
Yes, William White for sure.
6th all-time in our tackles.
You're just making names up now, Grandizer.
Who does he say now?
Issa Abdul Quaddus. I have no idea who that is. Oh god, I was just flicking through our list of AV contributed and it just came up with Amani Oruwariye. I'm like, no! Please, no!
You're joking.
Oh man. That was in the 300s, so it can't be that good.
God. Yeah, he was on there, yes.
The thing is, if Armani left after like 3 seasons, he wouldn't have been thought of nearly as badly as he is now.
Yeah.
People were so high on him going into his final year here, and he fell off such a cliff.
I think in 2 years, Brian Branch will be on this list.
Is it too early for him now, considering we've put on Sam Laporta?
I mean, yes, but I think the DB competition is a lot harder than the tight end competition.
I would agree.
We do actually have some really good DBs throughout the years. So.
Lisa's just said Quandre Diggs.
Maybe.
He was very good for us.
Yeah. But he is...
And he's one of us. He's one of ours.
True, but he is 252nd.
I'm putting him on anyway, just for recency bias. I'm here for it. Vegas Lions fan says Ray Crockett.
Ray Crockett, yeah. He is. Where do I see him?
He's even lower down than Quandre, I think.
9th all-time in tackles, so.
All right.
And in five seasons, 343 tackles and 16 interceptions, which is just had it there. Actually, not as high as I was thinking it would be, which is 21st.
Brian Shook's just trolling us now with the 2nd round pick that didn't work out.
No, not TT.
Marcus just saying we can't leave Dre Bly off.
Yeah, Dre Bly.
Hey, we could do a show of biggest draft busts. That'd be intense for the top. That'd be intense for the top spot.
James Hunter, 7th all time in interceptions for us, and he's up there for tackles.
Okay. Whatever you say. We'll have to make the case for all of them now at some point.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. We've done DBs. On to special teams.
I mean, the kickers are pretty self-explanatory here.
Yeah.
Hanson, Prater.
Yeah.
Hunter was in the quiz, but God, I won't remember it. So the all-time punter is Nick Harris, isn't it?
Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray? As a punter?
Yeah. No, as a kicker. He was the kicker before Hanson.
I mean, like, Jack's got to go on this list as well for punter.
Eddie who?
Murray.
You want Jack Fox on there already? All right.
Yeah.
I'm here for
It's
it.
what, year 4 for him now, isn't it?
Punter before him was Sam Martin, wasn't he? And he was up there.
Yeah,
But the all-time punter is Nick Harris. So
it's Nick Harris. Yeah.
We'll leave long snapper for you.
Okay. Well,
He says with a bitten lip.
there's only one.
the Don.
All right, Highlander. There can only be one.
Right. They want me to put Jim Arnold on there as well for punter, which is a fine shout.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm getting away with that, because he's second.
There's outrage because we haven't put on Mel Gray.
Yeah.
Really?
Mel should.
Why?
Yeah. DB. Really good. He's up there.
All right. Yeah, Carlton just saying, yeah, Larry was a DB punter. Muleback's now in
Yes,
there.
he was.
Lisa. Brian Shook says, did we get Dutch Clark in there? Yes, we did.
Yes, he did, yeah.
Mel Gray, kick return, punt return. Yes. Oh, yeah, we haven't got any other specialist kick returners potentially, have we?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. See if I can spot someone who's good at both.
I mean, we'd have to put Agnew in that conversation, wouldn't we? I mean, in general, there hasn't been many better returners than him.
So yeah, Gray's number one in both kick and punt returns. Second is Eddie Drummond.
In kick return yards?
Kick returns, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then in punt, it's Pete Mandley.
And then Lembani.
Yeah.
So Agnew is 9th in punt return yards.
And 11th
in kick. But out of all the people above him, only Mel Gray has more total. No, Eddie Drummond has more total touchdowns as well. Oh, Jack Christensen had 8 punt return touchdowns. That's pretty hot. I think Agnew has a shout looking at these stats. What's the average?
I mean, it's going in as special teams, not what they've done as a player. It's going on special teams, isn't it? That'd be the way to get in.
Yeah, but I think special teams is legit to get in.
That's how he gets in, if he does.
If you're just doing specialist returners, you could have Amir Abdullah.
Yeah.
I say that without being ironic.
Oh, I mean, just for all-time favourites, surely we're going to have Zach Zenner on here. Then if we're going down that road of thought.
Oh yeah, we're going players off merit, and then we're just going off players we like.
Should we just put Zach Zenner as honourable mention and give him his love?
People want Desmond Howard.
I was about to say him, even though he's famous for playing elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in terms of players we like. Who the hell was the lineman, the first ever player we got here on the show? Do you remember?
Defensive lineman, offensive lineman.
Offensive lineman. Was it offensive
he
lineman?
was a tackle
did
who
we get?
had made a product where you could listen along to the playlists of the players when they were in the locker room. And his name...
First player we ever got on here.
Yeah.
I've got to be honourable mention.
Oh.
God, that was years ago.
Tackle for the Lions in the 2010s. Backup mainly, I think.
Yeah.
Crap, I can't remember his name. He was really, really nice.
We're gonna have to go into the interview section of our channel to find that.
Is it uploaded? I don't even know if it is.
Should be. We've got interviews on there. Oh, here we go. Oh, we've got Kabinda interviewed. I mean, put Kabinda in there. Jason Fox. That was it.
Thank you. Yeah, good shout. Jason Fox. Oh, man, we've talked to Austin Gale.
The only other player we got was D'Angelo Amos. And he didn't even play here. We got him as a UDFA.
Yeah, God, yeah, D'Angelo.
Jason Bell.
Not a Lion, though.
No. Oh, that was so good. Anyway, Oh, Ken Muleback is definitely in there. Lost Ocean said Joe Fourier.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Joseph Fourier, tight end, 3 AV, 642nd. Played 2 seasons for the Lions. So no. Okay, so we have, I think, a long list put together, which I think is fairly comprehensive. I hope everyone agrees. I'm sure you won't, but never mind. 79 players. So we need to trim 29 and then maybe get some sort of ranking together. And I haven't actually thought about how annoying it's going to be to then actually rank these players. So,
should we just do the big stuff and rank the top 10 and like just have arguments about that?
Yeah,
50 will take forever. Like sorting the logistics of 50 out will be a pain.
it will, but we need to actually trim it down, don't we?
Oh yeah, we need to trim it to 50 and then we'll decide the top 10.
Okay, so
Or 15, because there's some very easy ones in there.
So I guess if we try and rank out of the players we have, like the worst of a group, maybe, and eliminate them. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is that a way of doing it, or should it
I
be?
mean, we can go through the tight ends first, surely.
We've got less linebackers than tight ends. And less QBs and less running backs. What the fuck are we on?
Right. So,
Unfortunately, we're only of a certain age, so we can't remember everybody.
right. So, what position group do you want to do first? Did you say tight end?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do tight end. That feels like who deserves to be in a top 50 out of that.
Okay. So, tight ends we have 7: Pettigrew, Sanders, Hall of Famer, David Hill, Jim Gibbons, TJ Hawkinson, Sam Laporta, Dan Campbell.
We love you, Dan, but I guess Dan's got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like the first 3, and then like
First, what? Pettigrew, Sanders, and Hill.
oh yeah, I feel like they'd be the 3 that should definitely be in there.
Well,
Yeah.
what I can do is I can put the ones we're definitely sure about in green, put the ones we're ruling out in red, and leave the others just clear, and then we should get a kind of color-coordinated picture. What do you think? All right.
Is Sam at the point where he can break into those 3 yet? That's the question you've got to ask there.
I think I definitively no.
No, I think like Branch, I think in 2 years he could well be there already. But the time is just not quite there yet. And I think that the same has to go for Hawk. Hawk must go. He'll probably have to go down as a disappointment, even though I love him. But 7th overall.
You'd hope for more.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, I'm just going to start at the top. I know we just did tight ends, but I'm just going to remove the tight ends and go quarterback. We've got 6: Goff, Stafford, Lane, Clark, Harrington, Mitchell, with Clark and Lane being Hall of Famers, I believe.
Yeah.
Top first 4.
Goff, Stafford, Lane, Clark.
Yeah, take Joey out. Take Joey out.
And
Scott Mitchell. Yeah.
And Scott Mitchell.
I think we knew that was going to happen anyway, but fine. That's quarterbacks. Right. Move to running backs. We've got to have it. I don't know if we're ranking all of these, actually. Oh my god, I've ruined this now. Why can't I select all? There we go. Okay, no, that looks like that's working fine. Right. Running backs. Got 6. Sanders, Sims, Puetro Sante, Walker, Alty Taylor, Corey Schlesinger. I think that's really tough.
I mean, Doak Walker literally has an award named after him. He was that good. And he was good here. And, you know, we celebrate our true running backs like that. He's got to be in. Of course, the first 2 are in.
So Sanders and Sims and Walker.
I feel like Schlesinger's the one in danger. But are we using? But yeah.
Shall I leave Pietrasante and Taylor in the white, not coloured at the moment, and then Schlesinger in red?
Left. I don't know if that'll go down well with the public in here. I don't know. Why don't we ask the crowd?
What do you guys think about Corey? Is he going in? Is he in contention still, or do we have to kind of rule him out at this point? Bearing in mind that we are on about 15-second delay. Ken put it best. The best move we made with TJ, unfortunately, was his trade.
Yeah.
Marcus says Schlesinger needs his own category. Which is kind of fair.
Are we putting him in as the top 50 fullback then?
I mean, yeah, but then Nick Pietrasante also has to be in that category since he was also a fullback, not a running back.
Yeah,
Pietrasante was probably a better player.
So do we kind of have to cut one of them? Just pick the best?
Oh, we don't have to cut any of them. They might all be in the top 50 Lions.
We'll leave them in the white. We'll have to leave them in the white. Leave them in the white then.
Leave them in the white. Okay. So we've gone through running backs. We've done tight ends. We need to do wide receivers now. So we've got 9. Herman Moore, Calvin Johnson, Johnny Morton, Brett Perryman, Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, Amon Ra, Roy Williams, Kenny Golladay.
I mean,
okay, so the top 2.
The first 5 you take, I think.
What?
Like, there is no top 50 without Golden Tate.
See, that's the thing. Like, he was great here, but he was also good before Seattle.
I don't think that makes any difference if he was good elsewhere, though. If he was legitimately
if you ask any line, like every linesman will tell you about Golden Tate. Everyone.
Okay, if I told you that we had room for one of Golden Tate or Amon Ra, as a hypothetical, I'm not saying that's what we have.
Ouch.
I'd be taking Amon Ra.
God.
Because
I think Amon Ra is more game breaking.
And has won us a playoff game.
Okay, is there
as good as Golden was, he didn't win us his playoff game.
But again, a lot of these players are going to be going in without playoff wins, so like.
Right, I've been told we need to remove Roy Williams and Kenny Golladay from the list by the chat.
All right.
Okay, can I propose that we leave Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, and Amon Ra in white for now?
I don't think Marvin Jones is in the conversation with Tate and Amon Ra.
Really?
I feel like out of that 3, I feel like Marvin's
the weakest,
the third. Yeah. Marvin's got the weakest case. I think we could say no, unless there's room for him.
I feel like as a career,
I think Golden and Amon Ra both go in. Like, they're genuinely both.
I think the thing for me about Marvin is that he made a career as an understated guy while Golden was doing all the stuff over the top as an undersized guy. He was doing all the stuff over the top with the contested catches and stuff. Like, he was always the number 2 and yet did amazingly well in that role. And he did it for longer than Golden Tate did for the Lions. Marvin Jones has a better Lions career than Golden Tate. I feel better about Golden Tate as a player. I just do. I'm a massive Golden Tate fan. I got a jersey of his. I don't have a jersey of his. I want a jersey of his. I have to backtrack from that. I have a jersey of Kenny Golladay. Let's not go there. Okay, I'm going to leave Tate, Jones, and Amon Ra in. No, I'll take off Jones. I think I've lost the argument. Amon Ra and Golden Tate in white for now, but I think they might both go in. Yeah, okay. No dissension from the chat, I don't think. Right, so now we go offensive line. And this might be one where almost all of them go in, potentially. Lomas Brown, Penny Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Don Raiola, Jeff Backus, Kevin Glover, Taylor Decker, John Gordy, Lou Creekmere, and Alex Wodge.
Decker's is the weakest
I think everyone but Decker.
Yeah. I love Decker to pieces, but yeah.
I don't. I hate that. I hate that.
If you're stacking Jeff Backus up against Taylor Decker, Jeff Backus was better. That's where I'm at with that one. Like, if you're making an all-time team and I don't know if either of those have been, but Backus was the better left tackle.
Yeah, but we've had multiple people in positions. I would go to bat for Taylor Decker as a top 50 Lions player.
It's like I probably would as well, but it's just out that group.
I think
if we have to knock
I think,
one off,
I think if
it would
one
have to be
goes,
Deck.
Taylor goes. They could all get in, but if one goes, Taylor's got to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna put everyone in green apart from Taylor, who I'm leaving in white.
Okay, we come back.
And then it's going to be really painful when you force me to remove him. Anyway, I think I know where this is going to go. Defensive line: Alex Karras, Robert Porcher, Ziggy Answer.
Yeah,
I would bat heavily as no.
No,
borderline for me.
You've got to put Ziggy in.
Why? He was a disappointment and he is regarded as a bust. Kept getting the tag and getting injured.
Leave him white for now.
Doug English.
Yeah.
And Dominican Sue.
Absolutely.
Al Baker.
Yeah.
Roger Brown?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, if you're having Sue in, not Baker, who has about just under double the amount of sacks in only 3 more seasons.
Okay, for similar reasons to Ziggy Answer, I'm going to go on Nick Fairley.
No, I think I agree. I don't think Fairley makes it.
Okay. Cliff Averill. Short Lions career, probably better away from us, but was very good for us.
See, my instinct would just be to say yes, but I guess it depends how many spots we have. I guess he'd be on the periphery.
Okay, let's put him in white. William Gay.
Zape played 61 games for us.
Right, so people are calling out for Jerry Ball to go in, who's the next person, so we'll put him in green through popular demand, I think. William Gay is getting a lot of love. Marcus has just said Cliff Averill is on the answer level, which I kind of get.
I mean, they're literally 10th and 11th.
I would say that Averill did it in 5 seasons with the Lions, whereas Answer was with us for longer.
6.
Okay, not much longer.
Averill was 2008 to 2012. Answer was 2013 to 2018. Answer 80 games, Averill 73. Answer 48 sacks, Averill 39.5 sacks.
Okay, Answer and Averill I'm leaving in white. William Gay, Jerry Ball are in, I think. And then we'll see where we end up. Okay, that's defensive line, so we'll go linebackers. Only 6. Chris Spielman, Joe Schmidt, Wayne Walker, DeAndre Levy, Stephen Tulloch, Mike Lucci.
First 3 for sure.
I would suggest the only one who misses out is Tulloch.
It's Tulloch. Yeah, I was about to say, Tulloch is the Decker of this list. Again, these are guys that probably all should make it, but Tulloch is the weakest, so therefore he has to be the...
I'll put him in white.
Yeah.
DBs, we have quite a few. We've got 14. I guess it's 2 position groups. Len Barney, Night Train Lane, both are in the Hall of Fame, so they have to go green. I would also postulate the other Hall of Famers, Dick LeBeau, Jack Christensen, have to go in.
Yes.
Like, we have been told by a third party that they are in the Hall of Fame, so they have to go in.
Christensen goes in, and this is what I was going to say.
There's a special teamer as well.
Has to go in, special teamer. I think he's on something like 5th all time in return touchdowns. As all these years after. And that's why I say Yale should go in as well, because not only was he really damn good at free safety, he was also really damn good at punter.
Right. Benny Blades.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he has to. Right, I'm going to read out some more just so we get an idea of who's in this list. Sorry.
Slay should definitely be in.
All right. Yale Larry.
Yes.
I think he kind of has to. Right, Glover Quinn. We've had him on the show.
See, Glover's my favourite Lions player of all time, so I'm
Same.
incredibly biased here. I feel like if
Leave
there's
him in
room for
white.
him, he goes in. Because, like, Benny's got to go in over him. You can't, if you're talking safeties, Benny's clearly got to go in over, but I just... No, see, I would, my heart would go to putting him in. I think he was that big a leader on this team. And I think he was massive for the development of the young guys here at the time.
And
we
and
all
he
said
led
when Patricia sacked him off, like that's when everything went wrong with the secondary. He was
and
that.
he
Sorry, Ash.
and he led the league in interceptions one year he was here.
Yeah.
All right.
Like
Quinn goes
think,
in.
I think he has to.
Right. What about the rest of these guys? And I'll just say them all together. William White, Quandre Diggs, Ray Crockett, Dre Bly, James Hunter, Mel Gray.
Gray and Crockett have to go in for me.
I mean, what was Bly? He was a multi-time Pro Bowler for us.
Yeah.
He was very good.
Any that you think are definitely out?
I mean, what corners are better? I mean, what corners is he better than that we've already put in? Was Bly better than Darius? Was he better than Barney? I don't think so.
Right, so the ones we've got in white at the moment, William White, Quandre Diggs, James Hunter.
Yeah, I think Quandre would just miss out.
Yeah, they all miss out for me.
Put them all in red or all in white?
Yeah.
Red.
Put them in white.
All right.
Red. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, I'll leave them in white just because it was your first thought. Right, special teamers. This is going to be interesting to line these up against the rest of the guys, I think. So, I just picking out the two leaders on kick and punt, Jason Hanson and Nick Harris both kind of have to go in, I think.
I mean, Hanson's the all-time leading point scorer for this team, so...
Right, okay,
you've got to put him in.
The other punters, Sam Martin, Jack Fox, Jim Arnold. I would suggest...
I think Jack Fox is in. Like, I love Sam Martin, but...
I would suggest Sam Martin has the worst case of
Jack
all
Fox
of those.
Like the amount of trouble we've gone to keep him and the amount of money we pay him is significant. Are we arguing there's a better punter in the NFL right now? No.
He's in the upper echelon, but he's top 5. I wouldn't argue he's top 1.
He's dipped from when he signed that contract extension. Sorry, people don't see. He's dipped from being the best when we signed the contract extension. Yeah, he's dipped a bit. And the thing is, like, I know it's perhaps due to longevity, but Fox is currently 9th in terms of punting. Martin is 5th.
So Jim Arnold is second in all-time punt yards.
Yeah.
I would suggest that I don't know.
I mean, punt yard, is it a stat? I mean, punters punt longer, they punt for more yards anyhow. It's just a stat that accumulates over time.
So would you want to do it in net punt yards as the key rather than anything else?
I mean, I guess that would be the metric you want, wasn't it?
So net punt yards, Jack Fox leads the team.
1. Yeah.
Net yards per punt. Sam Martin would be, yeah.
It feels a bit, of a luxury sticking 2 punters in the top 50, but
technically 3 because you've got Yale in there.
Technically 3.
Oh, so do we want to revisit? Even though Nick Harris is the leader in terms of total yards, we could take him out and just say he was here for a long time and he did well, but he's not a top 50 player. Put in Jack Fox instead. Oh no,
I mean,
put Fox and Martin in. Fox and Martin, that's fine. And then kicker. So we've got Matt Prater and Eddie Murray as well. So that's tough.
I mean, so losing AV, PFR's thing. Prater has 24 AV. Murray has 50. Hansen has 84.
So Prater has a higher field goal percentage than Hansen. 84.4%. If that matters.
I don't feel like Hansen ever tailed off like Prater did, though.
Exactly.
Hansen was just always good. We all felt like Prater was just losing it a tiny little bit when his time was done here.
So
and
Eddie Murray was almost 10% behind Prater in terms of field goal percentage. Eddie Murray was 75%, Prater was 84%.
I guess with these sort of things, when it comes, there'll be recency bias definitely in here.
Of course.
yeah, so
I would suggest Prater over Eddie Murray.
I'd say the opposite.
Why?
Because he's what 2 Pro Bowls, first team and a second team All Pro in his career at kicker both times with the Lions. So he was first team All Pro as a rookie with us in 1980. And then in 1989, he was second team All Pro kicker, where he had 95.2% field goal percentage and 100% extra point. Like Murray was.
But then we have to go back to the level of competition back in the day. What was he up against?
He was the guy right before Hansen.
No, I mean in terms of who was he kicking against in the league to make All Pro? Like sometimes guys make All Pro in spite of themselves.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, if we're doing this, we're going to say and I don't mean to say this to say that I don't believe it, but what I'm saying is you're going to put in Jared Goff definitely over Matthew Stafford because Goff has a Pro Bowl and Matthew Stafford doesn't as a Lion. And you might put Goff in legitimately because you think he's a better player as a Lion, but to use the Pro Bowls and the All Pros as like the be-all and end-all doesn't tell the story because the Lions players get shat on all the time. It's not really fair.
So by that logic, then when someone who is a Lion actually makes it, surely then it becomes more of a thing because they've overridden that was getting shat on to get that level of recognition.
Yeah, but about 40 years ago, we weren't a playoff team that was getting shouted all the time. We've been very successful in the 60s and 70s, So
Pat Mann has just suggested a rational thought. Just keep Hansen. The other two
he's the all-time leading point scorer for the Lions. Like, no one has got more points for this team than him.
Okay, so Prater and Murray, I'll leave in white. I won't rule them out just yet because we might be able to fit them on there. Muleback has to go in.
Of course.
And then
most snaps by an offensive lineman in Lions history.
I'm going to rule Jim Arnold out. And then Jamal Agnew and Desmond Howard as kick returners. I kind of don't think either get in. Maybe Desmond Howard?
But when I think Desmond Howard, I think Packer.
Okay. And in terms of kick returners, we've already got one in. It's just that he's also someone who also played on the field as a defender.
Mel Gray. Yeah, Mel Gray.
Okay. So we have all of our players ranked. Now I need to see if I can sort these by colour. Can I do that? Sort range. Can't sort by colour. That's not helpful. God damn it.
4, 6, 7.
Oh, well that's really not going to help. Right.
On my count, we've got about 52.
In the green.
Yeah, by my count, we've got 52 in the green.
Well, that's going to be unfortunate for two of them.
I mean, I've got exactly 15 green when I've gone through but I've probably miscounted at some point.
You might be right.
I'm counting them up using Excel. We've got 51.
Bye, DeAndre Levy.
I like it. Okay. Oh, I don't have to say bye to Levy, do I? Right, I'm going to read out the entire
Hang
list.
on, we've not got Amon Ra and Golden Tate in here yet. I think there's a few that need to go.
Okay. I'll read out the green ones. We'll see if we can eliminate any. And then I'll read out the ones that are blank and see if we can add them in. All right? Ones in green. Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Bobby Lane, Dutch Clark, quarterback. Running backs got Barry Sanders, Billy Sims, Doak Walker.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, we've got Herman Moore, Calvin Johnson, Johnny Morton, and Brett Perryman. Tight ends, we've got Brandon Pettigrew, Charlie Sanders, and David Hill. Offensive linemen, we've got Lomas Brown, Penny Sewell, Frank Ragnall, Dominic Raiola, Jeff Backus, Kevin Glover, John Gordy, Lou Creekmere, Alex Wodge, Alex Karras, I've gone into defenders there. So that's the offense in total. Any of those players that we can leave out?
I hate to say it, but would we have to leave Brandon Pettigrew out for a receiver? I just do not feel comfortable not having Amon Ra or Golden Tate in there.
I don't see an easy route to leaving anyone out, apart from maybe Pettigrew.
Yeah,
I'll make
That's where I feel like for me, Golden Tate has got to be in there.
I don't like it.
The thing is, we got to do this as a fan base. Like, everyone will tell you about him. Everybody.
Right. Michael Lucci says Pettigrew needs to be out. I'm with it.
Take Pettigrew out and put Golden in.
You would take Golden over Amon Ra?
I'd put them both in. We need to find another out. We can do it on defense. I'd take them both, personally.
Ash, any dissension?
I'd personally have Amon Ra in, but again, democracy. If you guys want Tate in over Amon Ra, then so be it.
Ken wants Tate in. I don't want Tate in. I would take Amon Ra over Tate, and I feel like it might come down to a decision between the two of them. Lisa Di Lorenzo says Tate was my wife's favourite wide receiver.
I feel like I've got the public backing here.
I'll put in Tate, and we'll see.
I'll put them both in. Let's find
I'll put in both. I'll put in both. Right. Defense. Alex Karras, Robert Pourchaire, Doug English, Ndamukong Suh, Al Baker, Roger Brown, William Gay, and Jerry Bull are the defensive linemen. Linebackers, Chris Spielman, Joe Schmidt, Wayne Walker, DeAndre Levy. I'll just take Levy out now, shall I? And Mike Lucci. DBs, Len Barney, Night Train Lane, Benny Blades, Darius Slay, Dick LeBeau, Yale Larry, Jack Christensen, Glover Quinn, Ray Crockett, Dre Bly. Special teamers, and Mel Gray, as DB. And then special teamers, Jason Hanson, Jack Fox, Nick Harris, Don Muleback. Michael Lucci wants Amon Ra and Tate over Brett Perryman. By the way,
no,
I'm not taking out Brett.
I think if you ask, like, because I've talked to Herm a lot. You ask Herm, and he will absolutely go to bat for him as one of the most underrated receivers lines. Even more. I
love Brett Perryman.
Like, the pair of them should be in regardless, just because of how humble they are. They wouldn't argue over it, but like the man himself, Herman Moore, will tell you Brett Perryman, and he knows his ball.
Who else can we take out from this defense?
I think you can. I mean, I think that the natural thing would be to trim down the DBs, but I look at all those DBs and they're all pretty damn good.
The DBs I think that are at risk, Dre Bly, Darius Slay. Hate it, don't want to say it, but I look at the rest of them, and I just think we've had a rich history at the position. There's players we really want to get in that are not there. I mean, so William
So who was better, Dre Bly or Darius Slay? Like, maybe a loser out of those.
I don't know, because obviously I saw Slay a lot and I loved him. I didn't really get to see Bly, so I can't.
You know, why are you saying that? I don't think I've watched much tape of Dre Bly either.
What about in the...
Shall we leave it to people in the chat who have seen Bly play compared to Slay? Who was better, Darius Slay or Dre Bly? Put it out there to the public.
Lisa's just said go without either.
Ooh.
I don't hate it. That's why I suggested it.
Yeah.
Also, on the defensive line, we have a lot. I'll just say that now. Got a lot of people.
I don't want to say who I'd get rid of first because I know it would piss people off.
Sue.
Sue.
That was my first thought, but I think he was so productive with us.
Name me one better DT we've had on his day. Like
Karras.
I mean,
yeah,
that's easy.
You weren't around in the 50s.
I've not watched Karras play. Different level of opposition. Like, and Damakung Su he still had it up till a year or two ago. How long did he leave? How long ago did he leave us? What was it? 2014? 2015 we lost him. And up until a year or so ago, he was still one of the best DTs in the league.
I mean, Karras missed like 3 years with like a gambling suspension, still came back and still leads us in sacks.
Oh, they should both be in there. Like they are. That's the level they're at. There's not been a more dominant Lions player on the D line this millennium at all.
I would suggest. I hate saying I would suggest, and I've said it several times tonight. I think that Al Baker and Jerry Ball could potentially be on the chopping block.
I mean, the older ones, it's hard for us to say because we've not watched them. Like, this is where it's true. We are a young podcast, so...
I mean, yeah, the reason I'm going to the bat is because he's in here a lot, which is a good read.
Karras is not in doubt here. Like,
yeah, Karras is definitely in
Karras,
doubt.
and I think it was Brown, the two are here.
Yeah.
That's why I knew about them instantly.
Okay, so Al Baker and Jerry Ball both have the same AV as DeAndre Levy, who all have a higher AV than Darius Slay. But then Benny Blades is only a couple of points higher than that. So this is the margins we're talking about. Taylor Decker is higher than all of those people I just mentioned. So it tells you that AV is not really the stat we're talking about here, but it does give you a kind of steer as to where we're at with these people.
Yeah.
See, Benny's another who most Lions fans will tell you is just like one of the most underrated players ever.
Absolutely. Yeah,
he's in the Brett Perryman, Herman Moore ranks of not been appreciated just because he was taken so high in the draft.
Right. They've said chop Ball, so Jerry Ball is gone. I think Al Baker potentially as well.
Are we over players, or are we over number, or do they need to go? I feel like we're pretty much at 50. So
okay, I'll have a look.
Anyone...
I'll review now just quickly.
Yeah, and while Matt counts them up, if people are leaving us to go play the new shiny toy, have fun. Hope FSU makes the playoffs in your dynasties, and I'm very jealous of you.
And I hope it's realistic. If you see Florida State beating NC State, it's not realistic.
For fuck's sake.
We are at 50, and we have got Amon-Ra and Golden Tate in.
There we go.
Let me read to you the people in white, just to make sure we're not missing anyone off that we thought might get in, because we can always chop one more maybe. Nick Pietrasante, Alty Taylor, Corey Schlesinger, Brandon Pettigrew, Jim Gibbons, Taylor Decker, Ziggy Answer, Cliff Averill, Jerry Ball, DeAndre Levy, Stephen Tullock, William White, Quandre Diggs, James Hunter, Matt Prater, Eddie Murray, Jamal Agnew, Desmond Howard.
Now I'm pretty happy with what we got, I think.
Yeah, there's none that I sort of get a tick by, like, ooh. Like, Pietrasante, I think, will be the closest.
Yeah.
Or the rest, I think we're good.
We have some dissension for Pac-Man for Jerry Ball saying Jerry Ball was a star. But there are lots of these people as stars, though. That's the problem. Like, these people in white, all of them were stars.
Like, a top 50 for a team that's been around since the 30s.
Is
like,
tough.
It's
exactly.
tough to get in there. Like, if you're 51, you're still an exceptionally good player.
Yeah.
Who is your 51?
Right, I'm going to see if I can actually put this into an Excel spreadsheet.
Zach Zenner. We told you, Zach Zenner is 51. Honourable 51.
Yeah.
And we will get the public backing on that. Everybody loves Zach Zenner.
Who doesn't love Zach Zenner?
Good old Doc.
Sounds like a Nickelodeon program, doesn't it?
Everyone loves Zach Zenner.
Everyone loves Zach Zenner. I feel like that should be a show we should do. He's still active. Can we get him up? We could do a segment on the podcast.
He's not active.
He's not. He hasn't played since. He's a doctor now. Well, he was when he.
Could we just still get him on the podcast and do an Everybody Loves Zach Zenner segment? Like that's something we should do.
Oh, as of 2022, Zen is an NFL certified sports agent and is preparing to become a certified nutritionist.
Yeah.
Don't the Lions always suck with their nutrition ratings? Can't we get him here? Is it the nutrition we always suck with on the player reviews?
Yeah, because they're trying to
There we go. Zach Zenner's coming back, y'all.
Okay, I'm going to change the window so that I've put everything in Excel instead, because Google Sheets just is the fucking... It's awful. I hate it. Right, so... Oh, I just suck at this. Hang on. And I can't change it, so that's good. But what I can do, I guess, is I can copy it back in. Right, there we go. So I've got all of the greens in the top 50. Right. Ant, you wanted to do a top 10. So let's do a top 10.
They've got to be gold.
Gold.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what rank you think they are as well, actually. So
let's do 15. Because that'll be controversial. I feel like there's a lot of guaranteeds in the top 10.
Yeah.
Let's just stretch it to 15, then we might get a little bit of real big dissension in the end there.
Especially if we do less than 22, because it wouldn't be a starting team.
No, but let's do a top 15.
All right, fine. So should we just try and do one for each position group for now, and then see if we don't like that, or do you want to just chuck out some names at me?
Shall we just do the auto golds first?
Barry.
Yeah.
Barry and Calvin are auto.
I'm putting them in orangey, goldy, murky. Barry and Calvin.
Lomas. I feel like Lomas is an automatic
Yeah,
gold.
this has got to be in there, yeah.
Porsche's all-time sack leader. He's got to be a gold.
Well,
or an orange.
Who has, sorry? Karras.
Porsche.
Karras is a sack leader.
He's a sack leader.
Oh, is he? Oh, well.
Yeah.
So
I feel like those two are both golds.
Yes, I would agree with you. So there's a difference between the all-time sack leader and recorded history and that which Pro Football Reference have gone back to do in before sacks were a thing. So before sacks were recorded, Karras got far more. Well, not far more. He got a few more.
Oh.
So yeah,
Joe Schmidt is a gold.
Yes.
Joe Schmidt's got to be gold. He's got to be in the...
As a linebacker, and I know we didn't have Dan for this reason, but we kind of have to with Schmidt because he was that good as a player, but then as a coach as well.
Len Barney?
Barney and Train, both gold to me.
Over LeBeau?
I mean, we're not finished. We're not finished yet, are we?
And
I would say LeBeau as well.
LeBeau as well, and then Mel Gray.
Really?
Good
Okay.
DB, great returner.
Is that where the guaranteed stop and the arguing starts?
2, 3, 4,
I feel like that's
5,
what...
Gray's,
I feel like we're...
7, 8, 9. We've got 10. I think you probably have to put in Dutch Clark as well.
Yeah.
I think.
For me, yeah, that you have to put the Flying Dutchman in.
That's
So
11.
to try and convince.
Okay. I would make a case for Charlie Sanders, probably. Maybe Doug English. Oh, this is tough.
I come back Sanders. He was one of the first proper receiving tight ends in league history.
Have we got Len Barney in there?
Yes. Let me read out the gold names at the moment. Ken's just said Dutch Clark over Bobby Lane. I mean, I think so. I know Bobby Lane won a championship with the Lions, but Dutch was a hero. Lisa said Walker has an award named after him. Yes, but it is a college award, though.
It is a collegiate award. But I mean,
I do think wasn't he better as a college player than he was as a pro football player?
But he was
he was damn good
wide receiver. Like,
he was sick.
He was literally the do-it-all. He is like one of the original Swiss Army knives.
Okay, so the gold players at the moment: Dutch Clark, Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, Lomas Brown, Alex Karras, Robert Porsche. I keep saying Porsche, whatever. Joe Schmidt, Len Barney, Dick Lane, Night Train Lane, Dick LeBeau, Mel Gray.
What's that, 11?
I believe that's 11.
Right, so this is where recency... This is... Okay, I'm going to say it. Penne. I already think, as a player, he is right up there. We already talk about him as the best right tackle in the NFL after 3 years. And he's paid as the best tackle in the NFL after 3 years. He is going to be a Hall of Famer without a shadow of a doubt, unless injury hurts him. That is literally the only thing stopping him getting into Canton.
I do wonder if he retired after 7 seasons with injury, but the Lions won a Super Bowl this season, would he get in? And I kind of think he would get in as a Hall of Famer.
If he plays 7 healthy seasons, he's going in the Hall of Fame. Like, he is...
So someone in the chat said Jeff Backus was an average left tackle, and actually Taylor Decker were going over him. So I think that rules Backus out just because someone has that opinion. I did kind of have that feeling because my fandom really kind of started. My fandom really started at the back end of Backus's career, and I do remember people thinking about him that he was like average at best.
I think Dominic's got more of a case than Jeff does, but they're both really good. I think they're both really good. I do. And you forget Jeff had to work with a much worse O-line than Taylor's had the luxury of in his career. So
I really want to put Frank in there, but Frank's problem is Raiola's.
I mean, we're saying as if we don't have a Hall of Fame offensive lineman on the list already.
Oh, Lomas.
No, Alex Wojciechowski.
Alex Woj.
Oh, right.
Like, but that's the thing, because we've never seen him play. He was in the 60s. Can we really? I know you say the same of Karras and Schmidt.
Of course, this is all going to be projection and stuff like that. But like, as I say, when it comes to Penne, I just think he is there already.
He's the second.
Right now, he is the top paid tackle in the NFL, is he not? Or has someone overtaken him?
What do we want the criteria of this list to be? In top 50, I've been quite loose with it in kind of just saying do what you want. But with top 15, part of me wants to say it's about what you have done and not what you will do.
Exactly, yeah.
But he's held down a starting job since day one, and he's not let it go. And he's one of the most dominant tackles in the game. Like, what was he voted as? The second player in the top 100?
Just behind. He was second in the top 10, done by the thingies.
Yeah.
Just behind Trent Williams.
Fine.
Trent Williams is going in the Hall of Fame, right? Like, Trent Williams is going in year one in the Hall of Fame, and he's probably the only one who can hold a candle up to Penne right now. And even he will probably struggle, being as he's getting older. I think he's done enough already to justify going in. He's just an absolute freak of nature.
There
Okay.
was the
Like
bad.
if we're saying Taylor over Bacchus, like Penne goes in over Taylor.
Oh yeah,
sure.
yeah. There's no doubt.
Like
So
we're talking tiers here. It's
Grandize has just said, "Who's your best centre, Kevin Glover or Frank Ragnow?" And the answer for me is neither. Dom Raiola.
I mean, Glover played what? He played over a decade, didn't he?
But so did Raiola. Raiola played.
Yeah, I have a big soft spot for Dom. But then, obviously, recency bias would say Frank, because probably there's no player ever been tougher on this team than Frank. But I feel like if Frank guts it out another 2 or 3 years and wins the Super Bowl with us, like Frank would then go in to a top 15.
I do not want to say that the approximate value metric for Pro Football Reference is the be all and end all. This is just to add a bit of context. In terms of centres, Frank isn't even third on the list. Raiola is first with 89. Kevin Glover is second with 87. Then Ed Flanagan, who was in the 60s and 70s, is third. You've got to go down quite a considerable distance from there to get to Frank. And I do wonder whether that is... It's mainly longevity, actually, because Frank's only played for 6 seasons.
Yeah.
Which is really scary. Like, it feels like he's been around forever. He's only been here 6 seasons. So I would
think
suggest...
Dom played for about 8 or 9.
Dom played for 13.
Oh, all here. Oh, he was a lifer, wasn't he?
Oh, 14, sorry. 14 seasons.
And Al played for 13, I think. So he's not even halfway to... Kevin, he's not even... He played 13. He's not even halfway towards it.
No, Glover played 13. And Raiola played 14.
So that's probably where AV comes in. Longer career, more chance of...
Yeah.
It's like WAR in baseball. Longer you play, bigger WAR you can get.
I think the fact that we're having the debate makes it tough because you kind of want to put both in or neither in the top 15.
I'd say neither.
No, I think Penne and Lomas...
Yeah.
Yeah. They're both in. They're both in.
They are... That's the level. That's the standard. That's the standard.
Okay, what about... Oh, no, Dick LeBeau's already in. I'm struggling now.
That's about
Bobby
to say.
Lane?
I was about to say. Bobby Lane and Christensen are my next two off, personally.
I didn't put Sanders in the end, by the way.
There may be Sanders third. It's just Bobby Lane because...
Yeah, that's not Barry, by the way, folks. We wouldn't do that.
But yeah, Bobby Lane because he won the championship there, and then Christensen because, again, kind of similar with Mel Gray, except Mel Gray has the stats with us. Christensen was a damn good returner as well as a DB. Like, I think he was a damn good DB from what I've seen with the stats, and that was also a damn good returner. For me, that's me being special teams focused, because I would say the Ale in as well, because damn good free safety while also being one of our best punters ever, according to stats.
I'm struggling. I think I would be tempted to put in Lane as my next guy.
Yeah.
He won a freaking NFL championship at quarterback.
Exactly.
Right. If I put in Lane, I think we've got 13. And I didn't put any of the offensive linemen in that we just talked about, apart from Brown and Sewell. We're at 13. I just don't know enough about Christensen. That's what makes it hard. I mean, it makes it hard about a lot of these people.
As you were saying, we haven't put any, other than Mel Gray, we haven't put any of the special teamers in. Hansen and Don. There's our 15.
Hansen probably does go in as the top 15. I would suggest that Mule doesn't. And that is just me saying long snappers probably can't get in to the top 15. They get into the top 50, but not a top 15. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, no, it depends. Like, if we're talking greatest ever Lions, then he's right up there, obviously. But I guess, are we talking talent or just great?
It was kind of whatever you want it to be in a way.
Yeah.
I just got a yes for Hansen in the chat from Lisa, so I'm going with it. We've got 14 now. Right, let me run down the people in gold. Let me run down the people in green. And you tell me who you want to go in gold and put maybe a top 3 on it. I'm pretty sure we got 14 gold. Bobby Lane and Dutch Clark at quarterback. Barry Sanders at running back. Calvin Johnson at wide receiver, the only one. Offensive lineman of Lomas Bound, Prenny Sewell. Defensive lineman Alex Karras and Robert Pourchaire. Linebacker Joe Schmidt. DBs Len Barney, Night Train Lane, Dick LeBeau, and Mel Gray as special team as well. And then Jason Hansen, special team. The other people in green who could go in for the last remaining spot: Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford, Billy Sims and Doak Walker, Herman Moore, Johnny Morton, Brett Perryman, Golden Tate, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Charlie Sanders and David Hill, Frank Ragnall, Don Raiola, Jeff Backus, Kevin Glover, John Gordy, Lou Creekmere, and Alex Wodge, Doug English, Dominican Sue, Al Baker, Roger Brown, Willie Gay. I don't want to say Willie Gay, it's William Gray. Chris Spielman, Wayne Walker, Mike Lucci, Benny Blades, Darius Slay, Yale Larry, Jack Christensen, Glover Quinn, Ray Crockett, Dre Bly. I was trying to combine Ray Crockett and Dre Bly, that didn't work. Jack Fox, Nick Harris, Dom Muhlbach. One player.
It's tough. Like, okay, this is, I don't know, reasons bias. I don't know. I would put Herman and Spielman up there, like one of them two. They're just. I would
Herman or Spielman. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say Herman or Spielman for me.
Okay.
Like, that's mine, but I will defer to greater powers. I mean, why don't we ask the audience? You've got one choice. We've got an audience choice for the 15.
Right, I'll put a poll up in YouTube.
I put Spielman on there. I put Herm on there. Is that where Christiansen could go on?
Yeah, I'll put Jack Christensen in. Just to answer Lisa, so sorry, I didn't know Slay made the list. We were debating cutting more people than we needed to, and we decided that Slay and Bly would get in over people like Pettigrew, Pietrasante, Cliff Averill, DeAndre Levy. Those are the people that were kind of in and out it and didn't get there. Jack Christensen, anyone else that we want to put on this short list?
I agree, Spielman and Herman.
Billy Sims?
Yeah.
Right. Moore, Spielman, Christensen, Sims. Happy?
Yeah.
Sanders? We were talking about putting Sanders in. Charlie Sanders.
Well, Wayne Walker was here forever. Like, the linebackers, it feels like another linebacker deserves in. No, we don't have many of them, but the ones we do have are, like, some of the best ever.
I don't know. Tell me what to do.
I mean, to give context for Christensen, before I'm saying him, so he was with us 51 to 58. In that time, 3 NFL championships, was a first-team All-Pro 6 out of those 8 years, led the NFL interception twice in those time, and 4 times in punt returns for touchdowns. And his 8 career punt return touchdowns was a record until 1989, and is the 4th best in league history. And he was put into the Hall of Fame in 1970.
It's a pretty good resume. Right.
And he was a lifer here. That's all he did.
I'm putting in Moore, Spielman, Christensen, and Billy Sims, I think.
Yeah.
Just to put something on it. I take the point about Wayne Walker, but I've only got 4 options to put in this.
That's fine.
Oh, but yes, but Charlie Sanders is in the Hall of Fame. All right, fine. Charlie Sanders going in instead of Billy Sims. Fine. The chat has spoken.
Yeah.
The poll is
It's all about the
live.
chat.
Choose one of those people, and one of those people are going in.
I mean, while we wait, we've not done the staff Goff thing. Like, none of them are going into the top 15.
The thing is, we've got
But who's
2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, so
but who's just higher on your list altogether?
the thing is, you've weighed how you feel about them into some of your rankings as opposed to just how good they were. And the thing is,
That's what I do. I'm just asking a question here. Where do people rank them? You don't have to say an exact number between 15 and 50, but people will ask.
it's tough because the thing is, if you ask me who the better quarterback is, it's Matthew Stafford. It has been throughout his career. Stafford is the best quarterback. But who's the best Lions quarterback? Well, Goff did get over the hump and has won 2 playoff games. And quarterback wins aren't a stat.
This is your top 50. You can do as you please.
I would have
Like,
I would have Stafford. He's the player who got me into the team in the first place. That means a lot to me. But the thing is, like, when it comes to actually evoking the victorious emotions, it's hard to look over Goff. So it's tough. Right. Charlie Sanders is the winner. Oh, yeah, Charlie Sanders is the winner. He's in the Hall of Fame. He goes in gold here as well. Right. Bloomin' thing, because I can't sort in Google Sheets. It's really rubbish. I have to copy it in here, and then I will sort in Excel like a douche. Gold on top. And then we put it back. This is great podcasting content. Right. We've got our 15 in gold. And do you want to go through ranking them?
I mean, in these cases, it's easier to do it from top bottom, isn't it? I know everyone wants to do the drum roll for the top, but I feel like it's easier to work down.
Well, so you want to go number 1 first?
Unless there's opposition. I feel like it's because we were going to take some off, and then it feels like it's easier to rank.
Yeah, I agree. So number 1 is Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2 is where it gets a bit more fun, because I just don't think it's Calvin. In terms of how he makes you feel, he's up there as an emotional guy, but I would stop saying that bloody phrase. I reckon Alex Karras has a shout at 2.
Yeah, I was about to say Karras or Schmidt for me.
I would probably have that as my top 3. Karras and then Schmidt.
Karras and then Schmidt. Okay.
Yeah.
We've still got Barney, Night Train Lane, LeBeau, as well as Calvin, and then Dutch Clark in there as well.
Like, Calvin can't go too far down here. Like, Calvin is the most electrifying receiver we will ever see. I would hasten as far as to say we will never see a Lions receiver better than him in terms of what he did. It just doesn't happen.
I want to go. It's really hard to split the DBs, but all of the DBs have a shout at being top 5.
Yeah.
I want to go Lem Barney, then Calvin, then Night Train Lane, then LeBeau, then Porsche, and then Dutch Clark.
I think I would have Calvin at 5. I think I would probably have Lem at 4.
That's what I wanted to do, so that's fine.
I would do that.
Lane, LeBeau, yeah.
Right, the remaining players are Bobby Lane, Dutch Clark, Charlie Sanders, Lomas Brown, Penny Sewell, Robert Porcher, Night Train Lane, Dick LeBeau, Jason Hansen, Mel Gray.
Night Train Lane and LeBeau next up for me, 6 and 7. In that order.
This is.
I'm as a democracy, I'm on board with Ash there.
Fine, but then I would be putting Lomas next.
Yep.
I can back that, yeah.
I think Lomas is right up there.
I would go
Dutch.
I would go Porcher and then Dutch.
You've got to have a QB in the top 10. Porsche's got to be in there.
Porcher then at 9 and
Yeah.
Dutch at 10.
Yeah.
Sanders, can I put in at 15?
Yes,
we were the one we were struggling to
debate. Yeah, because we were debating him.
Right. The remaining players 11
Then I
through
think you
14.
put Mel Gray at 40. I think you put Mel Gray at 14. I don't put him over Hansen, Sewell, or Lane.
I would go Lane at 13. No, I would go Sewell at 13, Lane at 12, Hansen at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
Okay. Let's see if I can actually sort this in here. I might be able to do it. I can sort by number, and it can sort alphabetically, just can't do it by blooming cell colour. All right. Top 15 Lions players of all time. Let's see what the chat thinks. Barry Sanders at 1, Alex Karras at 2, Joe Schmidt at 3, Len Barney at 4, Calvin Johnson at 5, Dick Night Train Lane at 6, Dick LeBeau at 7, Lomas Brown at 8, Robert Porcher at 9, Dutch Clark at 10, Jason Hansen at 11, Bobby Lane at 12, Penny Sewell at 13, Mel Gray at 14, Charlie Sanders 15. Any movement you guys fancy?
No.
No,
I'm sticking to it. That's where I'm at.
All right, I'm going to leave it up there just for a second, just to see if anyone in the chat fancies a change. Grandizer's not happy.
You still love us though, Grandizer. Us blokes and our British accents.
Rich Baldwin makes an interesting point, just saying Matthew Stafford is the best Lions quarterback. And the thing is, if you're lining them all up against each other and saying who is the most skilled, you may have a point. But what did they achieve in their era, and what were their contemporaries like in terms of play style? And were they professional players at the time? Comes into it. Because I don't know whether they were professional players then.
Clark was probably pushing it.
There's just too much. There's too many things with. It's like Goff definitely had the worst team when he came here, but now he's got the best team now. But he was good. He had to work through the bad times here, and you got to think he came from he was discarded from his system and left for dead. Stafford was a draft pick here and treated like a king from day one.
So Clark was professional. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was named the All-Pro quarterback in that time 6 times, was named MVP for twice, got us a championship once, obviously, led us in total offense once, total scoring 3 times, and his final 2 years, he was also a head coach as well as our QB.
It's like with Staff and Goff, like, who would you rather have for a game-winning drive? A lot of people would just instantly say Staff because of the big arm ability, but I would argue Goff has been better at it because of his ability to move the ball down the field and be, I think he's just as good at it.
I think the thing with that argument is that Stafford had a lot more opportunity to come from behind, apart from the first season that Goff had. Stafford had that one season where he broke the NFL record for comebacks in a season with 8 in 2016. So Stafford was like as clutch could be. When we were behind, but within one score, you always thought that the Lions had a chance. But the thing is that Goff has done that too. You always think that the Lions are within a shout, even if you're 2 scores back with 4 minutes to go. It's a never say die attitude. You saw that against Chicago. Yeah, exactly. But the San Francisco game, the very first game, when we were 24 points back,
Yeah, and we just about nearly pulled it back. But
We got
and
one. We got one on psychic back, but we couldn't get the second one.
Yeah,
or
the
something
second,
like
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
And that's with us having our wide receiver one go down for concussion, like halfway
Yeah,
through the
that was
game.
having the worst team of all time. That was the worst team of all time in his first game here.
Yeah.
One of.
All right, I'm going to put this list up on social media. I'm sure that it won't annoy people at all, the top 15, but let's see what happens.
Well, we're young. We can just say we're young and we can claim ignorance.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Right, everybody, it's been a really interesting show to have with you all. I hope you've enjoyed a look back through history. We are going to be up for the college football podcast tomorrow. And tell them about it again. Maybe in English this time.
In English this time. So yeah, Ryan's back from his Japan travels. So the conference previews carrying on. We're doing the Sun Belt tomorrow. 14 teams, so we do it conference, Sun Belt East. Good fun. We love the Sun Belt. Sun Belt, Fun Belt. A lot of great teams in there. A lot of great quarterbacks in there. So come check us out with it. Be good fun.
It will be main show. We'll be back next Monday. Topic to be determined as yet. Not sure what we're doing, but we'll get there with it. The next quiz might be this weekend, but it might not be. Quite busy this weekend, so we'll see what happens with that. It will be the last one, the next one. And if you want a Detroit Lions jersey off of our back, then you need to get involved. So keep your eyes and ears out for our announcement on that one. Don't forget to follow us on our socials. You can follow Ant on our Twitter page. He's absolute hoot. So Roar of the Lions UK on there, but also YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and the Facebook group for Worldwide fans is Detroit Lions Fans UK One Pride Worldwide. Ryan Farden does a great job running that group along with a lot of other people. If you're interested in the Blue Tub crew and what they do for their, tailgating and that sort of thing, a lot of them are on there. They're a great laugh. It's worth your time. So go and have a look. Otherwise, just remains for me to thank my co-host, Anthony Fitzpatrick, or Manio Banderas, as he's been known for some of this show, and Ashley Soden. Cheers, boys. Thank you to everyone for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow for the College Football Podcast. So let's go, Lions, One Pride.
One Pride.
Recording stopped.